Hi, everyone. Welcome to our new podcast, The Recap. I'm one of your hosts, Ava Silver. I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school. And a fun fact about me is that when I was 3 and 4, I lived in China for a year. Let's go around and introduce ourselves, I guess.
All right. Hi, I'm Inez. I'm also 17 and I'm a senior as well. And a fun fact about me is that I moved here in third grade and I used to go to a Catholic school.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm 17 and I'm a senior. And a fun fact about me is that I'm a twin.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm also a senior and I'm also 17. And a fun fact about me is I played the trombone in the 5th and 6th grade.
Great fact, Sydney.
Thank you.
Amazing fact. Okay, so in this podcast, we'll just explain it a little bit. We're going to break it up into 3 sections. We're going to do our highs and lows of the week, our ins and outs of the week, which is like a more collective thing. And then we're just going to, at the end, like recap everything, our recap, and talk about what we think we can do better for next week. So yeah.
All right, Inez.
Should we get into our highs and lows now?
Yeah.
So my high and low of this week. So I went to Canada over the weekend, which was really fun. And that's a high. And a low was that I just got a new phone and it didn't work. So I had a lot of time trying to figure that out, but I figured it out. So it's okay.
Inez, what happened to your phone?
Oh, the cellular data just was not there. So, but it's there now. So thank God.
That's gone. Much better. Jade, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah. So my high of this week was visiting Syracuse University. I really liked, all of its programs, and I liked going on the tour of the school I want to study in. My favorite thing about it was that in the school I want to study in, they actually have cooking classes that are like an elective anybody can take. And we went into the kitchen and met the chef. And they were like, the whole class was all these freshmen, and they were just like learning how to cook all these things like for fun. And so
wow,
that's cool. I would take that.
I would, because I don't.
That's awesome.
So I really liked that. And then my low of the week was my mom and I did get pulled over on the way home from Syracuse. She was driving. It was not me. I was in the passenger seat. However, my mom did have some erratic behavior, and she was not too thrilled that she got pulled over. So the drive after she was pulled over was a little bit stressful as the passenger.
I get that.
I also got pulled over.
It was, thank you, Inez. It was a little bit, Inez didn't get a ticket though.
No, I did not. Double whammy this weekend.
Yeah.
It was a whammy, but it was a little tense in the car for the, rest of the car ride, but that I would call that my low.
Cooking classes sound like amazing because really important life skill for college. Yeah. Similarly to Jade, my high was also seeing colleges because we had the long weekend, so we all were doing college-y things, most of us. Except for Sydney, but that's okay. My high was going to see Wisconsin University, or the University of Wisconsin, and Indiana University. Wisco in Indiana. That's just, I don't know. I feel like I never say it all the way out with the university.
Wisco and Indy.
Yes. So Ava, Wisco
what did you like about that?
IU. I really liked both of them. Indiana was probably the prettiest campus I've ever been to. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Wisconsin was really fun and also very nice, but I got to see my friend there. So that was like a big high of Wisconsin. And that kind of like took over the whole like, oh, like, let me actually look at the school and like make sure I like it type of stuff. And my low was that I had to fill my oral report for Mr. Falconetti's English class very late at night after I got home from my flight. So that was just a really stressful experience for me. And all I wanted to do was go to bed, but I had to knock that out. It was good though that I'd already done the work for it. So at least I did that, but it was still not fun.
That's the student grind. So unlike me, Ava likes to do her homework early in the evening. I really late at night, so I actually did my whole oral that
night. Like late for night at me is not as late as Jade's late at night, but it's also not fun for me, whereas it is productive for her.
Yeah.
Sydney.
So my high, and I just realized this, my high is also a low. So my high is a long weekend and it was great, but none of my 3 friends here were actually here and present to hang out with me.
That's
They're
rough.
all on college tours
We missed you.
and I was left alone. I mean, and like you'd think that I would, get my English oral done in a timely fashion. However, that did not happen, and I ended up doing it at the same time as Jade and Ava. So that was
That's-
also a go.
Yeah.
And we're really sorry that we left you. Won't happen again.
Our
You guys
Yeah.
can't do that again.
Never again.
We'll try
Never
not.
again. Never will happen again. It's rare that it does happen, so
Yes.
never again.
When it's a 3-to-1 ratio, and it's just
Yeah.
really sad.
Not a good ratio. Okay. Hopping into our ins and outs of the week, I guess now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we came up with 2 for each this week because we didn't feel like that was like that much that was jumping out since it was only a 3-day week. Who wants to share our first in?
I can share one.
Go for it,
So this is a more fun one. It's the Starbucks fall flavors, because who doesn't love fall,
Love.
And it gives it such a fun little spice and energy to
what I
our
have.
lives.
Can
Yep,
we go around?
Exactly.
This is
What is that?
a pumpkin
Pumpkin
spice latte.
latte.
So perfect for
Mm.
fall.
That's
But
not just-
honestly, like my all-time favorite. Yeah, let's go around and do our favorite.
Yeah.
But my absolute favorite fall flavor is the pumpkin cold foam on the pumpkin cold brew, and it's just perfect. Literally so perfect.
Yeah.
I also like a good pumpkin scone or pumpkin
So
muffin.
my favorite, I'm actually, now that you held up that PSL, like I'm craving it so hard right now. I'm very cold and that just looks so nice. Or like I could also go for hot chocolate, but that more. My favorite thing from Starbucks is actually not a drink. It's their pumpkin muffin with a little bit of cream cheese filling. It's so good. It's like my crack. It's so good. And I just love it. And also the pumpkin cold foam.
I would say my favorite fall flavor, mine's not original because Sydney already said it, but I really am a sucker for a good pumpkin scone from Starbucks. But I'm also a fan of the pumpkin cold foam and a pumpkin spice latte, but only if it's cold out. So we haven't really had very cold days that I can really enjoy one to its fullest stability. So, but I am looking forward to that.
Jade likes a caramel spice, a caramel iced macchiato.
No, but that's not a fall drink.
Yeah,
like,
I get
That's
it.
your favorite fall drink. Okay, my favorite fall drink is, well, I actually also just got a pumpkin spice latte with Sydney, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that one. I really love the hot ones. The cold ones are not as good, with extra whipped cream and a little bit of cinnamon on top. Perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, Sydney, do you want to share our next one? You seemed eager to.
Sure. So our next one is, so the 4 of us have been frequenting tea periods a lot, and I think as a whole we love just getting extra help. It's so convenient. And so specifically with Mr. A and Mr. Adama, so we recently dropped
Yeah, tell them about that.
And we recently dropped IB biology. We thought that, the 4 of us took IB chemistry last year, and, it was super hard. We worked through, we all did really well. And we thought that, taking IB biology this year would be too stressful.
Now is the time where we need to focus on a lot of other really important things.
And we have all of the IAs and all the other classes.
College.
applications.
Right.
College applications, yeah.
So we felt that it was best as a whole if we just dropped IB biology, but we went into AP
It was a
computer
great decision, by the
science.
way.
It was such a good decision, and we loved the class. But we needed extra help. We needed to be caught up. So we've been going to a lot of tea periods, and they've been helping us a lot. We've been catching up, and with Mr. A, we always need help in that.
Always.
Every
We
day.
frequent him.
And sometimes we get kicked out of tea periods because we go too
We're there
much.
too much.
But it's
Yeah,
always helpful.
Well, it's really important to like it's an in because like I always felt like especially when we were younger, like tea periods weren't,
I was just about to mention that.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I always felt embarrassed of going to a tea
I
period.
was just
Now, like, at least 3 mornings a week, like I am up and at it at tea period. And like, you know what? I have to say, like I did really well on my math test because of it. And like, I felt like it's like I haven't missed any time in computer science. And it's just like they're just so helpful. And like I wish like younger me would have known that like it's so not embarrassing to ask for help. And like it's so in as
like we've had
in.
tea periods as a thing since middle school, and I was literally about to say this, and then Jade thought of it too, which is very on brand for us. But like I would never go in middle school. If my mom made me go to a tea period, I was embarrassed. I didn't want to go. It was like weird. Like no one went to them. But now I just feel like as a grade, more of us go to them because we need the help. But specifically us, we frequent them a lot. And I feel like we're caught up in like, are doing better in AP Comp Sci than other kids who weren't there the whole time.
Yeah,
So like,
I agree.
I'm proud of us for that. For
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It's
catching
really
up.
proud of
important.
our accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I'm also proud of us for having like the drive to get up and go to these tea periods because it can be a lot.
Yeah.
So
It can be tiring.
we're
Well,
helping ourselves in that way. And I'm really proud of us for doing it.
Anyway, let's move on to our outs of the week.
Yeah.
So personally for me, I feel like this hits close to home as I talked about how like I can't enjoy a good pumpkin spice latte yet. And I feel like for me, like warm weather is just out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for summer and like
Yes.
I love the heat and I love it. But come September, like school season, I've had enough, and I want to rip out my sweaters, my sweatshirts, my comfy clothes, and my Uggs. And it's like, it's hard when it's like 75 degrees outside and I'm like, I still do it anyway. And then I'm like sweating because of it. And it's not
exactly.
good. So like yesterday I wore Uggs and the high was 70. Like, why was I wearing my Uggs? Like
I also wear Uggs.
Literally burnt off.
Like I'm not sure, but so for me, like a big out is warm weather. Like I'm ready for it to be.
We're all there with you.
Fall. I'm ready for it to be winter. Like, and I think
That
everyone
crisp weather. This
I
week
just want
we're
to
going
wear.
apple
I want to wear my winter uniform of leggings and a hoodie, but like I have to be careful and wear a tank top underneath or a t-shirt because I will get hot in the middle of the day. Like I just will. Even if it's cold in the morning and we get up and get dressed. Then by the time we get out of school, I'm like sweating. So
I just love sweaters.
yeah. Ez is a big sweater.
We
girl.
love sweaters.
She's a big sweater girl. She's a big sweater girl. So unanimously we've agreed that warm weather is out.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are all things that we've unanimously agreed on.
Yes.
So our other out.
No, Sydney should share it.
Sydney shared the in.
Oh, okay. Ava, you share that. I'm
Continue.
sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
So our second out, if you know, so let me go, is just the level of homework that we had over this 3-day weekend and into this coming week too. Senior year, I think for all of us has been a lot harder than we realized because, and that's like a big reason too that I think we dropped bio is because it's just a lot more work than we realized. Everyone tells you junior year is the hard through, like grind through that. And the seniors last year would always tell us to like, no, like it's not like that at our school. It doesn't get easier after junior year. But
It's like crazy hard still.
Exactly. You still kind of expect it to, but honestly,
It's full IB. By the way, we're all doing full IB.
I
So
feel
it's,
like we
actually
have more
great.
work than we did junior year. And it's kind of been a lot for us to adjust to and just get back into that grind of homework and things. And just over the 3-day weekend, I was so stressed. And like, even this weekend, I have so much work to do. And it's very overwhelming. And it's just, I mean, it is because of the courses we're taking. So like, you can't really blame anyone for that, but it has been definitely overwhelming. So we're trying to find different ways to de-stress.
Yeah, exactly. And like
and not think about school 24/7 because it's also very easy to like do that. Like I know I woke up this morning anxious and stressed out about all the work that I had to do this weekend, but you gotta like put that away sometimes and like not think about it because otherwise it'll be overwhelming. Like after we're going to the football game, which will be fun for all of us and not too homework, it'll just be like a fun thing that we can do together.
I agree.
Yeah. And also like just with the college applications and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like a separate class to add on to it.
It's like
it's like the college applications are a separate class, and
it's like more than a class. It's so much.
Crazy. And like I just sometimes I wish that our teachers would be more sensitive towards the fact
Sometimes I wish I did my entire everything I had to do for college this summer.
Yeah, I feel as though I should have done everything for college in August and July. However,
Yes.
that's not the case. But
Like,
you know,
it was
I did
Okay,
enjoy
it's
my summer,
unrealistic.
but
It's a little unrealistic.
and I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend that anyone does that.
No.
But
Yeah,
in the
it's not
moment, it feels
necessary.
like you should. Get your essay done over the summer.
Yeah,
yes, essay done over the summer.
that is a good tip.
Which most of us basically did, like get like at least good start on it.
well, anyway, I mean, I think that brings our like a recap of this out would just be the fact that the heavy workload we happen to have this week in tandem with college applications, and also just, you know, especially for Inez, Abe and I, we were traveling, so you know we couldn't do homework while we traveled, which is I think what really pushed it onto the last 2 days. So
Yeah.
I'm sure in a 5-day week things would have been managed a little bit better, but you know, when you're traveling and balancing, you're traveling and homework, it can be a lot. So that would be our
It's
overall out.
perfect segue into our next segment if someone wants to go first, where we kind of recap the week and talk about how we can do better next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you want to talk about it? You can talk about it.
sorry, I can talk about the first one we wrote down. This is all also
We made some notes.
Yeah, this is all conjoined, like we understand. We all agree on this. Less procrastination. This is something that students tend to have a problem with, like throughout their whole.
We have a
middle
problem
school.
with it.
We
Everyone
have a
does.
problem with it, and everyone in general I've seen, and it's just something that is like can just like going on your phone can pass the time by so fast, and you never even expect it.
Yeah.
And soon enough it's dark out and you haven't even started your homework. You know, it's just so easy to do that, and just making a plan out for yourself, and like creating like a time for when you have a break and a time for when you can do your homework. I feel like that's a really effective way to avoid less procrastination, and that's what I personally will want to do next week.
I do just want to say, like, this is all things that we're saying, but like just because we say it now, like it doesn't mean like less procrastination is probably going to be on here like week after week.
Every
It's
time.
very
And we
hard
do-
to bug.
And it's hard to bug. So like we're just like here to like show that yes, like it is, but we're trying at least like with all the things that Inez said. So we're gonna
We're acknowledging the concern we have within ourselves, and that is the first step.
that's first step.
And like also a step to this is we're gonna try and push each other.
Yeah.
to
And we always
stay on
do. I
top of
feel
our
like.
work. Like we reminders and just like
We're
you
big
know,
at doing work on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
we're
like
big.
that.
We're actually not FaceTime. We're big Zoom people. So
Yeah.
typically,
We are.
This is comfortable for us.
Mhm.
if we have like a video to watch, we'll like screen share on Zoom and do like a group watch, or you know, if we have like a reading, we'll do a read aloud. We
Ava,
love.
Love reading.
tell them about our history review.
Oh, so last year I think that I was probably the most knowledgeable and like
We're a strong history student.
strong.
very
history-
good at history.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put
You know,
it.
we really, you know, last year's history class was very challenging.
Yes, it was a IB History of the Americas HL year 1 with Mr. Hoffman, and it's a hard class for almost everyone. But I seem to have a bit of a better grasp on it, just kind of honestly naturally. Like I don't want to like say I did anything special because I didn't. But what we did do is he would give us study guides, which were super helpful, but they were in the question form. So what we'd do is I would fill it out, and usually Sydney would also fill it out because she was pretty on top of her stuff.
Thanks,
Just, you know,
Ava.
putting it out there.
I mean, it's true. It's not
Yeah, like I don't want to
did,
lie.
but I did fill it out.
I don't want to lie, and I want to give credit where credit's due. So we would fill it out, and then we'd all have I would host a Zoom the night before the test, and we would go through the study guide together, and I'd prompt them with questions on each talking point, and then when they didn't get it, like,
call. She would
cold
call.
call, I would
cold
cold
call.
call.
And it wouldn't just be us, it'd be like other people who like
Some of
wanted
our other friends who
help.
also needed the help.
because Ava was a history whiz.
And then like when, you know, if they knew the answer or not, like I'd still go over it, elaborate. If I could tell that they weren't paying attention, I would make them pay attention.
That was
This a
important.
really big thing for Jade, really. I
the
would say.
secret line was Eva, say your favorite line. Say your-
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait.
I missed it. We haven't had one in a
Oh,
while.
wait.
We've had a history test.
They were actually quite helpful.
Yeah.
Sure,
And they were helpful for me too, honestly, because talking out all of the information like made me know it much better. Because before I was just writing it down, filling in the answers based off of my notes or like what I'd had like just in my brain. So talking it out loud and trying to quiz myself on it was very helpful. So I recommend that to anyone out
Yeah.
there.
So that
Study with
brings
your
me back.
friends.
that brings it back to helping each other stay on top of our work. So I feel like we were really great at that last year. And I feel like this year we haven't really gotten into that like groove of like, you know, making sure
It's still early.
we're on top of our work and things like that. And it's still early. So of course we have time to improve, but hold on.
Okay, so we'll just continue. If someone, maybe Sydney, do you want to talk about the next bullet point?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we kind of hit time management.
Yeah, I touched on it, but you can
Yeah.
continue talking.
So, well, I was gonna go with the last one. So our
Yeah, I
last
would say.
just main point of our recap is, you know, we say this and you know it's debatable if it's gonna happen or not, but going to bed earlier, especially for Jade.
Jade,
having
this is a big one for Jade.
And
'cause
me,
as
I
we
go to bed late
mentioned,
too.
And
Inez. But
Yeah.
Jade's a big one of procrastinating her work till the night
That's true.
and staying up doing. Inez is more
Okay,
about just
let's
she's
not
staying
point
up.
fingers. Let's not point fingers. To preface, I am a night owl. Like I like,
Yeah.
do I function well
night
at night? Absolutely. However, I feel as though, and I have.
And let's
been
say that's not a bad thing. It's just when you have to get up early in the morning, it doesn't always work out in her favor.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would just say like next week, I would like, my goal is to like, you know, I feel like this week my average bedtime is around 12. And so next week, like, you know, I hope to make a little improvement, maybe make it 11:30. You know, 11 would be a dream, but I feel like 11:30 is probably more.
That's my
attainable.
bedtime.
Yeah. And so I feel like, you know, that's really important for me to work on, at least for me next week. I feel like Sydney has also been a night owl this week as well. So I feel as though she may need to tone it down and start going to bed earlier, because I've had her as my companion doing homework these late nights this week, but
it's for reasons that can't be disclosed.
Okay. Well, I would just say that I am probably our biggest early to bed girl in this group. That's just who I am.
Ava's just good at going to bed.
I have an internal clock that tells me when it's 10:30 that I need to go into the shower. I like to wrap up my work.
Wow.
I like to wrap up my work at 10:30, be done with it, get into the shower right away, and then I'm in bed by 11. And that's
I
just
feel
my
like Ava and I work on FaceTime together.
yes, me
for,
and
like,
Sydney are big
hours.
FaceTime work.
And then I feel like Jade and Inez need to join the party.
They've
Well,
tried though, and they're just not. They don't work.
I
with
like
us as
working
well.
independently
I
sometimes.
know it's like you, yeah.
And Jade likes to do her work late, so when we are
Yeah.
doing it, she's like
Sometimes
doing
me
other
and Jade
things
work
it's
together late
distracting.
at like 12.
Yeah. Well, I'm a busy after school girl, so it's hard
Yeah.
to, you know, manage my time to fit Ava and Sydney's earlier schedule.
Me and Sydney are a strong after dinner crew.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
strong
but
afternoon.
not important. The important thing is that next week, overall, I'm going to try to go to bed earlier. We're all going to try to help each other out and stay on top of our work. And we're also going to try to just not procrastinate as much homework to either the day it is due, when it says due today at 11:59, or from the night before. We're going to try to get
We should all go around and say. Let's all go around and say our one thing that we're going to be better at next week, even if it's small. All right,
Okay.
so Jade,
Oh,
go Inez, go ahead.
mine is definitely time management. I've never been good at it, and I probably will never be good at it, but little improvements are always good. So maybe starting my homework a little earlier, going to bed a little earlier. Not that I start my homework too late. Like, I feel like I'm okay. I think going to bed, Jade calls me late, and sometimes I stay up. You know, it's hard. And sometimes I just stay up because I want to, you know, but I won't this week. I'll try.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
That's
going to
good.
try.
And try is a good thing.
Mine is to start doing some of my work after school on the days where I don't have activities, because it's bad when I come home from school at 3:30 and like, oh, it's good to give myself like an hour or two, but I can't wait to do all my work after dinner. And like, I'm good with doing my homework after dinner, but especially that college stuff that I need to do, that needs to get done before dinner, and then like take a break and then do my other homework. So I'm differentiating it. And I have all this time that I'm just not really making the most of. So my goal next week, especially since I have a lot of supplements to write kind of starting now, is to try and do some of that in the before dinner after school hours.
And for me, mine is honestly to like utilize the Friday of the week as a, you know, not to do too much homework, but to get some stuff out of the way, because I think for all of us, we all wait till Sunday night
Yep.
to do our
Yes.
work. And it's very stressed. So I like to call them stressful Sundays. We have Sunday scaries.
Very
And it just gets, the work just piles up. So I think just utilizing the Friday would be very helpful and beneficial.
Because it almost makes it like a week when we spend all Sunday doing work.
Right.
Yeah.
Jade.
We know mine is going to bed earlier, as
Yeah.
Eric spoke to, and
Yeah.
I'll update you on my average bedtime next week, and
The next time we film this.
Yes.
Great.
11:30. That's what we're gonna shoot for. I hope there's no outliers that are gonna skew the mean, as Mr. A says.
Oh yes, get that
but,
math in, girl.
Yeah. So I feel like that's really That's
I'm
it.
so proud of us. Thank you guys for all
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
participating, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching, if there are any people watching this, for our first episode of the
Thanks for
recap.
Get this far if you've watched already.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Bye.